want to believe that the essence of coming here is for us to be better people in what we do.
Yes, sir.
Not just leaving it at starting points. We can come here like we go to lectures. You go to lectures now. And we just go read to pass. But what we do here is learn, apply to be better. So maybe I would like to start with a story of a woman I know. She sells body and never. Everybody can sell body and never, right?
Yes.
But she sells it in a unique way. She gets a very good plantain, do the roasting. After the roasting, she removes that black part inside, dissects it, and she has a place where she puts little pepper and salt just to add by yourself. And there's a compartment for granite, and she serves that on the island every afternoon. So today she's a millionaire. So what is different between that woman and I saw a woman selling body baby? Well, what are the difference? What is the difference? I want us to be very, very interactive. What? Innovation. Okay. Branding. Okay. Packaging. Somebody has said packaging. We are all saying the right thing, but I just want to relate it to what we want to treat now. Business process. Uniqueness. So all these things put together comes to a process. And the process starts from getting the plantain right, good ones, roasting it, cutting it, dissecting it, and all that. The woman that sells here will just get the plantain, whether she washes her hand or not. She just put it on fire, you come there, you even point, this one. You say, no, this one, 10 naira. And that is it. She just put it on a paper, whether you don't even know where she got the paper from. And that is her daily process. Now we're talking about business process and startup. So from this short story, can somebody tell us what process is? English word, what is a process?
Process is like a step, it's like a procedure.
Procedure. Stages. There's no word I'm looking for.
Systems.
Systems.
Act.
They're all saying the same thing. There's one thing that is missing. It must be consistent.
Procedures.
It must be what? Consistent. Now, we can take this topic like a lecture, and we can take it from an entrepreneur perspective. I'm an entrepreneur. I run some businesses, mostly tech. So I can leverage on that and we learn real life experiences. So sometimes until you get there,
You might not.
So most of what you are learning now, when you begin to implement it, then you now come back for another class, master's again. So you now say, oh God, that thing you taught me, like we're talking about customers, you need to interpersonal relationship, right?
Yeah.
You need to know how to talk to your customers. I try to talk to them very well, yet they insult me. What do I do? And sincerely you are trying your best. So I'm sure when they look at which area is your business located. So if you are staying in Egbeda, you are doing business in Banana Island, there is just a difference. You understand? Somebody comes to you just like, how much is this? This thing is 10,000. Look at it, is Reebok. He does not need that information. So we can be doing that in Egbeda here. Cite the person. They know what they want. They just walk into. Sometimes they don't even talk to you. That's why the concept of grocery stores, mega stores, start from there. Price tag, what you want. They just go, they take what they want. They are not talking to anybody. So it is here when you walk and say, customer, what do you want? Are we together?
Yeah.
So now, this business process we can say it's a process or task that directly or indirectly help your business to provide products and services to the customer. I'm going to send the slides. It's not ready. I will send it. So essentially, what business process entails is a set of tasks that are directly or indirectly help your business to provide products and services to the customer. Now, we just learned about customer service. Like we said, everything revolves around the end user. So if I'm a tailor now, I just make all these clothes and I hang it without nobody buying. At the end of the day, I will lock shop now.
Mm-hmm.
So everything about this world is about production. I'm offering something that somebody is paying for. That is why any nation that is poor in the world, you find out that they are not a more of a producing economy.
Actually.
You understand? So that is why Naira is 585 Naira as at this morning. We are not doing anything for people to demand for Naira. They are not demanding for our currency. You understand? So it is worthless. So if I take my goods and services to the international markets now, and they look at it, I can still get this thing from Bangladesh and all those countries. So they don't place premium on it. The only thing they place premium on is oil. And oil is being regulated. They have a regulatory body, the OPEC,
Yes.
to regulate prices and all that. So when you begin to produce, you offer products, then it has a way it boosts your local currency. So now what we are talking about is business process. So what are the processes that you need to put in place for you to get this to the customer? That's what we are talking about. So how many of us are entrepreneurs here? You own your own business. Okay. Virtually all of us. Okay, you want to own your own business. Okay. All right. So business processes must be structured. It must be structured. It must have a structure. Measurable. So we can say it must be structured, measured, set. It must be a structured, measured set of activities designed to produce a specific output for a particular customer or a market. Now, a market can be a customer, you know that. Now, when we talk about market, we are not just talking about which popular market is around here. In Kotu. We are not talking about Kotu market. We can be talking about West Africa as a whole, as a market, or Africa as a market. So, when you have a product that everybody in West Africa patronizes, West Africa becomes a market for that product. So, example of such products. Coca-Cola, okay. Coca-Cola is an international brand. It's good, it's good. Some people can't do without it. Some people wake up in the morning and the first thing is They have a weakness. Okay? Okay. And sometimes it could be WhatsApp, who has messaged you. Sometimes I do that unconsciously. When I'm waiting for responses, maybe because of what I do. So we have so many platforms whereby we manage developers. So you just wake up and you just see, sir, we don't know this, how do we do this, how do we do that? And sometimes you wake up from your bed straight to meeting. How many of us? You just wake up, you've not brushed, you've not even washed your face. Your eyes is still like this, and your system meeting. So sometimes when they say turn on your camera, you say, something is wrong with my camera. You want to go and wash your face because obviously you're just waking up. So now, business process has categories. Do we understand what we are saying now? So do we have a process how we wear a shirt? Sir, help us with that. What is the process of wearing a shirt?
What you mean there is no process. So to say. Simply because the reason I'm saying there is no process. Some people, for instance, if the shirt is already ironed, you can just iron it and then you already tie it, just bring it out, put it on. If you are just taking it from a
That's not even their approach. Wearing.
Really, not put it on your neck now. Put it on your neck. So people, the reason I'm saying
No, we are going somewhere. I just want us to understand what we are saying. Now, to him, he said there is no process. He said there is, right? So what is the process?
Before you can put on the shirt, first of all, you have to open on
You have to unbutton it.
Yes.
If it is buttoned.
Yes, then you put it on. You wearing it process.
Okay, what if as it is buttoned now, you know, like this does not have button. I wear it the same way I wore this.
You wear it.
Yes.
The process.
it's a process.
No
But when
wear
you
shirt.
took the
So when you unbutton it, it's a process,
Yes.
right? So what I'm driving at is this. Sometimes different businesses or similar businesses could have different processes depending on what you are offering, the market and your target audience. Are we together? So somebody can say, oh, in our bakery, before we bake the bread, there are some that are generic anyway. You put flour in the pot, you add water, Some people will say, no, we add butter first before water. But at the end, all these ingredients will still come in. You understand? So, this is where you begin to learn your own art. Oh, I did it this way, it turned out very well. I did it this way, it turned out very well. Have you ever wondered that everybody is doing chin-chin, but they are patronizing one person more?
Yes, sir.
There's one chin-chin is, I don't know how they do it. The person that does it, the factory or bakery is in Canada. Name is baby chin-chin. If you taste this one, you won't eat mini me again. I don't even like mini me. I don't mean to spoil that brand because I don't know if they are watching us. So, what are the examples of business processes? So now, he said, due to the nature of business processes, it is possible to break them up into a couple of distinct types. Some will be vital for your core businesses and others will support it. So when we talk about processes, there are some core processes. Core, they are core, they must just be part of it. For example, we are coming in here, we are sitting on chairs. What if there were no chairs? What would you have done? We sit on the floor. So as far as this is concerned, even the chair is not core. So the core here is the floor. Abi? So if there are no chairs, we will still sit. Are we learning something? So as an entrepreneur that has business focus, you need to begin to understand what are the core of your businesses. Because it will help you eventually to save costs. It will help you to save time, like the first speaker was saying. It will help you to save so many things. So I want to start a business, maybe a dry cleaning. I want to start to be selling chin-chin. And the first thing I could purchase is a car. It's not core. Do we understand? So we need to begin to identify what is core. Can we put up this one?
Yes.
So we need to identify what the core is. So what do you do, ma'am? No, what do you do? Your business. Bags. So can you mention 2 core processes in? She needs machine and she needs lead and then thread, right? So that's all she needs. So she can be doing it right in their sitting room. Abi? She can be doing it in front of TV. She can be doing it in the toilet if that's where the space is. So those are the core. Every other thing is not core. Now let's go on. Now we have a diagram. It's just a simple diagram that is saying types of business processes. Types of business processes. Number 1, we have the operating, then we have the managing, then we have the supporting. Operating, managing, supporting. Operating, managing, supporting. So, have you heard when somebody says, I am a management staff? Have you heard that before?
Yes.
Or do we have management staffs here? Huh? Do you have anybody that's a management staff? Okay. Do you have anybody in operations here? Okay. Now let's just break it down. I'm trying to at the same time make you understand while I rush it a bit. Because the next thing guys around. What we are talking about is so when you talk of operating process is also called the core business process. It is the core business process. So these are activities that they are direct of value to your company and to your customers. For example, now, I'm sure you made this bag, right? So if I want to buy this bag now, my question will be, where did you make it from?
Yes.
That won't be my question. My question will just be like, oh, this thing is well, I just look at, maybe somebody like me, I look at the finishing. Say, why is this thread here like this? People like me, I'll see this thread. I might not buy this bag because of this thread. Then I just look at it. This color, okay, matches with this. And this looks good. Then the next thing is how much. So I'm not going to ask you where did you make it from. So those are the things that we are talking about. So now these things, they include, the example of this process includes product development process, product delivery, manufacturing, customer acquisition, and so etc. Now the first thing in this operating is, how do we develop this product? Now after that has been ironed out, then how do we go about the manufacturing? So before you do this bag, you must have a design, right? You sketch. So you see that is very important to you. So if you now have people working for you, you can now sketch. Those are people that have learned over the time. You can now sketch and say, I need this. You sketch another design, you produce this, you sketch another. So they are core to your operations. Now, product delivery again. You have done everything. It's in your factory or your shop or your. There is a way it must be delivered to the customer, which is key. So, in doing business, you see where you put your priority now. We've talked a lot about customers. Everything revolves around them. It must be key. Now, how do you even get these customers? Another important thing. So, as a matter of fact, you don't just go on producing when you are not sure of whether people will buy. Of course, that is the life of an entrepreneur. We are coming there. A startup. A startup is a business that you are not even sure whether it will succeed. Are we on the same level now? There was a guy that that wanted us to develop an app for him. It's like a caregiver app. And because of the way the app is, it was taking some time because he kept changing so many things, kept changing. And he said, I need to be at so event. This, that, at this event, I'm going to get customers. He has done projection by second month. I'll be making like 500,000 by the fourth month, million, by this, by that. And it doesn't work that way. As a matter of fact, it is the market that determines your product. So there's what is called MVP, minimum viable product. Which means they will do this chair now, for example. You see, God bless you. Might not be there. You understand? When we talk about minimum viable product. And what they are trying to do is, what does it cost if we are not adding everything? How can we make this guy? Now he has papillon, whatever. So these ones are extra costly. So you would have removed those extra costs. So that when you introduce it to the market will now say, it looks like every other chair now. Why can't you do something? They will now go back and do God bless you. You understand? And then he says, there must still be, just look white. They now add this papillon. So I'm sure if you bring your son to a shop where they sell chairs, because of this aesthetics, they will not choose this. You understand? So this is no more an MVP. This is a complete product. Like you might want to do this bag without this chain on the handle. So it's just an MVP that you launch into the market. The market will now begin to determine how they want that product to be. It is the feedback from the market that helps you to model and remodel and remodel. So if you are a small business owner or you want to go into business, you don't go into production with the mindset that we have finished work. The market will determine whether you have finished work. Now, you talked about Facebook, right? Facebook did not start to be what it is today. Over the years, there's been improvement, adding this, adding that, adding this, and today they are still adding. So that when there are emerging technologies or needs, if you can just think it, they will add it. So today, there are companies that outsource. They have some part of the operations that are outsourced. Now, if I can develop an application that can complement Facebook to give them maximum delivery, I can just contact them that I have this technology that can help you do facial recognition. Now, once you launch Facebook, all you need to do is just put it like this. Then it will launch. There are applications like that. So you don't need password. So you don't care about somebody stealing your password or not. It's a process. Yeah. So they buy it and they begin to become what? So somebody will be like, okay, they've improved their security. Now I can have Facebook account. So the more the customer, the more money, and the more powerful the owners become. And you know the most powerful people in the whole world now, there is not even, individuals now, it's not even US president. It's not Russia president. Now let's just imagine. Let Google suspend its service for 3 hours. No, let's imagine it. Let Google suspend its service for 3 hours is too much.
It's 2 months.
For 30 minutes. Then let Amazon suspend its service for 30 minutes. Then you find out that the banks will collapse. The communication system will collapse because they are riding on those technologies. Today, you just put your address, you are going to Khartoum, you don't even know the place. We call it what today? Google Maps.
Yeah.
Then it tells you turn right, turn left, turn this, turn that. Okay, I like to make my class interesting. There was a day we were coming from, I don't know, somewhere around Father. So I was with my parents, and they are not tech savvy. And they said there was hold up everywhere. But I knew there is a shortcut. Somebody has taken me through that place. And I don't know the place. So I just launched my Google map. Then I just told them that this technology will be directing us. He said, turn right to Agamila Street. My dad asked, what is talking? I said, he's giving us direction. He said, wow! To us it's just normal.
Yeah.
It is now part of us that without it now, some people can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
If I'm driving, I can find my way. But if I'm not driving, I can ask direction to this place 10 times. So you see the difference. That some technology has now become part of you. Some processes have now become part of you. That unconsciously, if you divorce them or something happens to them, then something will happen to that person's life. Are we together? So people can't do without DSTV. We have so many catch-ups now. Actually, how many people watches it? The Brethren, Tinsel. I think that's very popular. So some people can't do without it. Halita, my wife don't watch TV, but that's the only thing she watches. That is the only thing. So for me to make her happy, whether there is light or no light, she must watch it. So I must make fuel available, whether there is no light, because I don't know. It's a catch-up thing. So now I think we've gone through the operational process. Do we have any questions? Okay.
Telling us that we have to delivery management process. Okay, we started with the product development.
Yes.
You mentioned another one which I think
Customer acquisition, delivery, there are much. Now, if we have to go to product development, there is a strategy of developing a product. It has a cycle. So time will not permit us to go into that. I don't know if there will be part B of this class. So that we touch these things. Not every product conceived that does not make it to the market is useless. Are we together? Every product conceived that doesn't make it to the market is not useless. There are some factors that can be responsible. The market or the environment might not be ready for that product at that time. 10 years ago, if I'm talking about facial recognition, nobody will take me serious. But today, there are some events you go to, or some places, strategic places. It is your face that will open the door. So if it is not you, you can't gain access. So we're talking about how to mark attendance and all that. And I was talking, okay, I was in a meeting in NCA in Jos. We had the DG, then we had academics, all of them. So they wanted to play a fast one on us. So because most times I don't talk out of our team, they thought maybe I was dull, or maybe I don't know what we are doing. So they arranged the meeting, you understand? And they now told the rest of our team that, oh, you guys can go, we came from Lagos, and this, but I think this one can wait in case of anything. So I waited, then the rest left. When they confirmed that the flight is just one flight out of Jos, that the flight had gone, they now called for me for a meeting. So when I entered the room, look at security levels before I entered that place. I was scared. What's going on? Then this one, DG of this, they were like that. They now said, hey, you guys, you were talking about one process. You understand? How does it really work? Then, you know, in my mind, I said, they brought what I know how to eat. Have we heard that thing before? They brought my food. Then I now like, okay, can we have a proper introduction so that I know who I'm talking to? They were shocked. So this one, please introduce yourself. You invited me now. I must know you. So this one, professor, this professor, that professor, this. And do you know professors are just people that know little, they know much about little things. They know plenty about little things. So they don't. That's why you see some professor, you know, is this guy.
It's the practical,
So in shoemaking, they might know only about soap. Then they will tell you anything about soap, but the other parts they don't know. They can just analyze. So when I started breaking it down, I was using tech words and everything, and they were just like, wow. And like, I will look into it. It was just one woman that came to me. He said, don't mind all those things. He said, in my son's school in America, this is the process he used. You understand? So what we are saying in essence is, whatever it is you do, there must be a process to it. As an entrepreneur, you just don't wait and say, you just do things just like that. The processes must be structured, which means anything structured is what? Documented. Now, the second example is supporting process. Supporting, from the word support. They are not core, but they are supporting. And without them too, the core might not thrive well. Are we together? Now, so they create value that customers crave, that are multiple. Okay, let me take it from the beginning. To be able to only focus on core activities must be very detrimental to a business owner. So you can't just focus to the core. There will be a time whereby, like I was making examples of this back, of a time whereby maybe I am an investor now, or I want more. I said, do you even have the capacity to produce 100 of this? He said, yes, we do. Come to our factory. Now, you are bringing me to the building. In the first place, when you started, that building was not core to you. You only needed a space to start, irrespective of where the space is. Like I said, it could be your sitting room, it could be your toilet. We did something in my house yesterday that we've never done before. We turned our dining to mini kitchen. We were doing some experiments. We had so many people. And when I walked in, I said, wow, so this place can serve this purpose too. So now, in this supporting process, you now have things like accounting, call center, HR, procurement, and even customer satisfaction. Now, we'll be making reference to your factory. You have an accountant. Is it core to what you are doing? Not right now. I like that question. So it is not core to her process now. So what this teaches us is we should not invest in things that you don't need at the moment. So if you can hire an accountant now, wouldn't you just put the money into production? So you produce more. When the demand is beginning to be high, somebody needs back from Port Harcourt, somebody needs from here, somebody needs from there, then you now begin to like, I don't even know, somebody called and said they need it. How many? Somebody did something. Then you now begin to employ, there is a way they call it.
Personal assistant.
It's not personal assistant. They call it in a way you must have accounting knowledge, business knowledge. So you are employing one person to do multiple things.
Okay.
So as the business grows, then you now say, I need an accountant that is chartered that you are streamlining the activities of that person to purely accounting. So you now have, you see how we are breaking this down. You now have, some people will now say, we are operation staffs. You understand? So they now say everything about operation. Okay, when they are doing this, okay, you look at the quality assurance, you look at all those stuff, which was not there before. At the moment I consult for a factory, they do, I won't mention that product. Now when the lady spoke to me, it's a woman. And I was just like, I said, no, you can't expand this way. Because they want to do many things and they don't know how to do all the things. Now the first thing I asked her is, what is your strength? So she's a scientist. So she can put all the chemicals together, do the, and all that. So in the market, they were having challenges. There are some products coming from Ghana. They locked the border for a while. So all those products have been there in Benin. So when they flooded Nigeria market, in order for those people to break even, they reduced the prices so that it will go viral. Yeah. So it was not affecting their own price. So I now said, wow, go and buy. We did analysis. Now, she does not have a product quality control center. So she was doing it herself. Now, when the factory becomes very big, she'll now begin to look for what? A quality control person. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
That's where I'm going. So, this supporting the minority HR, do you need to consult any HR to employ anybody?
No.
Is it not, you just talk to one of your friends, I need somebody to say, Silipa is jobless now, let her be coming now. You understand that? And Silipa is writing jam. She'll just be coming. Although that is not what you need. But that is what you can afford at that time. You understand? So that's not what you need. You don't need somebody that does not. So as a grown speaker and you say, she's using maybe like just 350 from making back. No, I was 11. So when they come, they want to know what you know. So that time you begin to like, and then you now have a track record. This is how we started from one room. And the story will be sweet there. No?
Well, in practical, it's not stupid.
It's not. It's not. So you talk about procurement. These are supporting. You now need somebody to begin to help you to go and buy your leather and all that. So you go to the market yourself now. So you now look at the leather. A time is coming whereby those things, they are not core, but As you grow bigger, they complement your effectiveness and it helps you to serve the market better. Now, should we go to the last one? It says management process. Like I said, we hear of management staff. They say we are the management staff. I was lucky, I think some places where I work, I don't know how God does it. If I come to any place, God give me 6 months, I will rise to the top. That is just God. I was about your age when I was managing a company that has branches in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and all the rest. So there were people that put 17 years in that place. They were the one that interviewed me, and they said I wasn't qualified. And somebody said, let us manage him. Now imagine you now becoming their boss. This is practical. What happened? Some people did fraud. They sacked all the line managers. And they now look for who is more qualified among all these people. Then my boss now said, you go. Then I could not sleep. Then I called one of my brother, he was staying in UK, and I said, I'm about to resign from my job. He said, why? I told him the story. He said, pity you, but I will guide you. If you have any problem, call me. So he was guiding me on how to make decisions. All those things you are learning now, I didn't know it then. So decision making and now and all that. So one day I knew that I had at least matured a bit was when we had problem with the authorities. One of our guys that stays in the branch was doing fraud, and he was arrested and locked up. And his father is a senior custom officer. So he just came to the office with one lawyer with big suit and briefcase, and he just came. They were talking. Then there was a guy that was supposed to be ahead of me. They brought him when I was complaining, I can't do this work. The guy ran away. I mean, he ran away from it's not a small place, so simply come, he ran away. Then they said, who is the boss here? Then I came, I said, can we go to the boardroom? They sat down. And the father was striking. I said, sir, sit down, calm down. Okay, let's talk like human beings. I sat down. Okay, what is the problem? And he said, we are going to sue, we are doing this, we are doing that, we are doing this. Then I said, okay, if that is the issue, you don't need to come. Just serve us a letter. Then we will meet at the court. I said, do you have the letter? Then the father said, yes, we will serve him. Then the lawyer called him. He said, when we entered this place, he said, you saw all these grown-up people. They asked for their boss. They brought this small one. He said, you should know that something is not normal here. How can this person be the boss of this way? And we were threatening him, he wasn't threatening. And he said, let's meet at the court. Then, that's the man that calm down.
I will reconsider this.
Then, when the lawyer now like, okay, we were sorry about the approach. I said, that I'm already contacting the company lawyer so that we would prepare for court, if that is. The boy was there. Then I told them that if you know who this boy is, I told the father you will deny him in court. The boy could not talk. I said, out of my salary, because I know this guy has issues, I give him part of my salary. I supported him with everything, yet still. Then, at the end of the day, I was now the one giving them condition. I said, now, as we stand, this guy has stolen, I think he has stolen about 500,000. That's like 10 years ago. I was very small then. I said, well, how are you going to pay that money? The lawyer is saying, well, let's write and let's sign. So they brought lawyer, they brought themselves, and we had an agreement. They signed. So they were paying us back. You understand? So there are some things you need to learn. As an entrepreneur, you need to be bold. Even if you are going down, we die together. That is it. we die together. There was a business I did like 5 years ago. I lost 10 million naira. If I don't tell you, you won't know. And we were still working. Still 5 million was borrowed, 2 million was borrowed, and as if nothing happened. And when I told somebody, and you are still alive, I said,
Let me disappear.
I said, waiting won't kill me. Even the person that we owe, seeing you still struggling, like he said, no. The man said, no, I trust these guys. That is how many years ago in the crypto space. And today, I'm even trying to launch back that business. And my aim is to raise $5 million. I'll just be sleeping in my room. And I know how to do it now. I know it better. Because I have learned how to do it with failure. So as an entrepreneur, failure is not really failure to you. It's just a stepping stone to understanding what you should not do. So, and how to get it right. So you can repeat that mistake again and again, and everybody will be like, this guy, just quit, like Job's wife. Just quit and go and do something. And one day they just see you own a private jet.
Hallelujah.
And they say, how? You understand how? So at that time, somebody called me. I had no 15 naira to go take Okada. And somebody called me and said, can I get close to 1 million? I want to borrow. I said, don't worry, the economy is, So in management process, what do? You are concerned about forecasting. You are concerned about strategy. You are concerned about budgeting. How do we make big budgets? How do we budget for next year? In some organization, if it is not in the budget, it cannot be implemented. So you have to wait for maybe there's what they call supplementary budget. They have to make room for you. Then you talk about planning, monitoring, control. So sometimes when management staff come to your branch, how is the journey? So there are times whereby when they say management staff walks into a branch and everybody will be shaking because they don't know what you have come to do. Maybe you are just passing. So we have branch here. You just enter. I know how to do it then. As leader as I was then, when I enter like this, you put me in one corner, sir, what do we get for you? They will bring everything, they will bring everything. I will say, I'm okay. When I'm going again, small envelope, okay, thank you for coming. So I needed to do audit in one of our branch in Abuja. So when I got there, I don't know, everybody was, almost everything that I signed out, Sonny, they call me Sonny. So they didn't even know who this guy was. So I went with a staff who happened to be a junior staff. Because that one was big and everything. When we entered together, he was the one they also had to do the chair. I said, welcome, sir. This, and the guy foolishly sat. So the branch manager there, is my friend. So I was just, when I entered, I just greeted everybody. I went outside. So we were talking, So when we now entered, he now introduced me. You understand? Everybody was disappointed. So this small guy, and I was to audit them. And we went to a party together. We now met a friend. And that one said, this guy has come to audit you. And you are this close. He said, that only thing over here. You see, you are not supposed to even be seen at the same place. What you just need to do is enter the branch. Give me this book, give me that book. Hey, how are you, everybody? You don't even need to know anybody. If you need this one, who is in charge of it? Sit down. Why is this? Why is that? Why is that? You finish your job and you don't even need to give them your number. This guy is a sad discipline. But in all, I knew what I was doing. My goal really is not to, Thank you, sir. Okay. That means we are going to have part 2, sir.
Sure.
Okay. So, there are steps. Do we understand where we are now? So, let's just discuss these steps and we will leave the rest maybe another time. We have the privilege of coming. Business process development step. There must be steps that must be followed. Number 1, how many types do we have? How many? We are listening.
3.
3, okay.
The operating, the managing, and the supporting.
So, where are we in that process now? All of us here.
Manage.
You are not in management. What are you managing? You are in operating. The core. Go. So, we are not managing anything. So, after now, what I want you to do is whatever it is you are doing, go and list, just segment it into this thing. Look into the future. Don't look at just now that you are just in one. Look at it and then list out those 3 categories of your business now. And then the core, the management and the supporting. Then it will now help you to begin to work towards the core very well. Now, I understand that the person coming now will be talking about legal aspect of business, which is even good. Because when we are talking about startups, you would have understood so many things from, I want you to pay attention, please. You would have understood so many things from that legal aspect. So that when we are now talking about startups, you understand? You will understand what we are talking about. I'm a startup and I'm an entrepreneur. So I can relate with these things. So you understand what we are talking about. So I have just 5 minutes. So it might not permit us to take the steps, all the steps, but if it is 1 or 2. Number first thing is for you to set goals. And these goals must be achievable and realistic. Set realistic goals. That's the first thing in business process. So what are the goals? Oh, I want to manufacture bag, right? That is the goal. Your goal is not to manufacture shoe. Now, in manufacturing bag, shoe can now come later. Have we heard of this company, Tamaku?
Yes.
The word tama is what? Heat. Then cool. So the heat, they were doing what? Iron and fridge. Today they are doing TV. AC. No, AC is still
In line with their name.
So today they are doing TV. When I saw Tamaku TV, I said, no, you can't be Tamaku. So along the line, the business expanded to the extent that they now said, we have the capacity to do TV. So they started doing TV. But if it were me, I would give that line another line. You understand? We are still coming to that in startup and all that. I'm sure they would have taught you all that. You are learning from them. So you must set an achievable and realistic goals. So, and these goals must be aligned to the purpose and the processes. So you understand where you are in all those 3 processes. Set goals. Set goals. If it is, I want to manufacture 10 bags in a day, do you have what it takes to know? Then reduce it to 5. Then set goals. Okay, in another 6 weeks, I should be able to be manufacturing 10. So now, number 2, maybe I'll stop here. It says map out strategies for achieving these set goals. These are the processes. So now we'll now look at an example of what we are talking about. We'll look at it from HR angle. We'll look at it from tech businesses. We'll look at it from different kinds of business. How is it that they have been consistent over the time? in relation to their processes. Now, strategies. Now, there is something you need to know about strategy. If something is not working, it does not mean it can't work. You understand? What you need to do is change strategy. If your business is not working, does not mean it can't work. What you need to do is what? Change strategy. You know, I told you we lost 10 million the other time. But now I want to do that thing again. The strategies have changed. I've learned more. I now have people, when we come to HR in this, then we learn how to hire people at no cost. At no cost. I was discussing with him one app that will soon launch, maybe in 3 weeks' time or next month. We are launching. It's quite big. So we have people working in Kenya, in Abuja. People have not seen, I don't know them, I've not seen, I only know one. I've not seen the rest. And you know, a blockchain developer, the minimum they collect is $10,000. You understand? But we're able to broker an arrangement where the person collected $400,000. What is $10,000 now? Do the mathematics.
Serious one.
So I'm paying 400 for what I could have gotten for 5 million. So I have UI UX designer, I have back-end designer, I have everything. So the thing is, as an entrepreneur, you must be smart. This idea of I am the boss is a problem now. You see one small boy selling granules, you say I'm CEO of granite and granite. And does he even have the qualification to be a CEO? Do you even know what CEO does? You can't think for yourself and say you're a CEO. Privilege does not mean capability.
At all. The difference is clear.
That you are privileged. I could be son of Dangote and they give me Dangote group of company and I will run it down in 2 weeks. So, can we stop there?
All right. Thank you very much.
So, questions here.